communist Kerala, red run state, Moscow aligned. So clearly, America was not feeling the love, but Kerala was throwing it right back. So, quote, "It is really humiliating to us to have people here from far off countries to tell us about the chicken and the egg. But if you are prepared to give us some of your atomic scientists, I'm prepared to accept them." End quote. Namaskaram, Nyan Elikutti, and welcome to Learn Malayalam with Elikutti. Today's video is a little different. I wanted to tell you a story about how I accidentally stumbled into something from Kerala's history, and to this day it can be extremely debatable, and I was wondering what you guys might think of it. It's definitely related to language, Malayalam in Kerala. It's also related to the government and politics. So let's dive into that. Now, it all started very innocently. As you know, I've been studying Malayalam now since 2017. And back before I started this channel, there wasn't really a lot of resources going around. So I was looking for some online resources that were helpful, and I found this PDF. And this PDF was by Dr. Moag, who is also responsible for creating several materials and courses in studying Malayalam for English speakers. But this one was specifically for Peace Corps volunteers that were visiting Kerala for specific projects. Now, I was curious, why is the Peace Corps going to Kerala? And when I was trying to find more information, I found this archive, and it was about Kerala kicking out the Peace Corps. So I looked through the archives, I looked through the different kinds of information, and all of a sudden I started reading about the CIA. The years that the Peace Corps was in Kerala was between the years of 1965 and 1967. And for those of you who don't know history of Kerala, 1967 is when the Communist Party was first elected into power in Kerala. And for those who are not familiar with American history, 1967 is just 10 years after the second Red Scare in the United States. So basically, America's not feeling too great about communism. Kerala is embracing it, la salam, all the way. And the government was a bit concerned that the Peace Corps wasn't exactly what it was saying that it was. There were accusations of espionage. The government of Kerala decided they didn't want the CIA in their business, and they kicked out the Peace Corps. Now, I wanted to look more into it to see if there was any evidence that possibly the Peace Corps was doing any kind of espionage or spying on the up-and-coming Communist Party of Kerala. And I actually came across this really charming archive. The group of Peace Corps members that visited and worked in Kerala at that time were the India20 Alpha or India20A. And they have their own kind of time capsule on their own website. And it's really fascinating. You see their daily schedule of training when they were at the University of Milwaukee. You see their Malayalam teachers. There's a rare photo of Dr. Moag when he was younger and teaching Malayalam. And then you have pictures of Kerala in the 1960s. And you have this really interesting footage of silent film here recorded on 8mm film. So, you have this group of really pavam-looking people going and assisting with poultry farming and being a part of Kerala's landscape. But were any of these moles, were any of these doing something more than what met the eye? And also consider the fact that they were in Kerala helping with poultry farming, something that is what one could argue very basic and understood by many agricultural workers in Kerala. In fact, this newspaper article that I found was really fascinating because the Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Govindan Nair, he actually said, quote, "It is really humiliating to us to have people here from far off countries to tell us about the chicken and the egg. But if you are prepared to give us some of your atomic scientists, I'm prepared to accept them." End quote. So they weren't having it. It was insulting, it was insinuating that they couldn't take care of themselves, or like I said before, there were some, suspicions of espionage or trying to spy on this Kerala government that is communist embracing. In fact, even in this news article, it's written by an American outlet and it's clearly biased against Kerala in the fact that it writes it as communist Kerala, red run state, Moscow aligned. So clearly, America was not feeling the love, but Kerala was throwing it right back. So what do you guys think? Peace Corps? Was it a innocent problem group of people trying to help the agricultural workers in remote and rural parts of Kerala? Or was there something a little bit deeper? Was there something investigating this communist government and a plan to maybe sabotage? Or do you think it was a mix of both? Let me know what you think. Pinne, കാണാം.